Okay, just in case they were asking me when they could start this, I've given them the go-ahead. And yeah, they are going to be joining in, I think. Let's see if both teams are going to be ready for this one. Looks like they are. So let's get into game number 1, guys, for the final round of the EU Fusion Qualifier. Endpoint, fan favorites who have really rocketed to fame thanks to their acquisition of Metsonoris, who's obviously a long-time fan favorite, and Virtuoso's destruction in offense. Will they be able to show that off today against Solary, who just reverse swept Magnifico to get into this match? It's going to be a really close series on paper here. Endpoint, certainly the favorites. Not just according to the fans, I would say favorites just to win, full stop. Why? Okay, Virtuoso's named himself, my name is Virtuoso, why is my name so? I imagine that he was going to type long at the end of there. I don't know why he's done this, but yeah, Virtuoso is the guy who's driving around with a massive nameplate. That's him, just so you can see him coming. Not the best idea for a demo main to have a huge nameplate like that. It's easier for opponents to see him. But Solary are off to a decent start here. Love that offensive positioning by Carey, and that is so smart to be over there on the far side while the center ball is coming in. It makes it so much harder for the defense to see him coming, and it also gives him a better angle of attack. No matter what kind of center ball comes forward, he's probably going to have a good line to get it. When's Ixo? Shogun is streaming Ixo's match right now, so you can check out Shogun's channel. Did I say? I did not. You guys are just hearing things. I said far side. Get out of here, Twitch chat. You're not going to troll me right now. Well, you probably are right now. But yeah, Shogun is covering the 3 of a Kind versus Nameless series. That is also happening at this very moment. He is live with it as we speak, right guys? I know that a lot of you are probably tuned into both. Lightning Wave with a team shot. Solary easily able to keep that one away from danger. You gotta wonder, when is Virtuoso gonna flip the switch? When is he gonna start demoing the entire lineup? Well, it's actually Relating Wave who does, as we speak about it. And really, Endpoint, every time that they do this, they get a goal. It's as simple as that. Perfect timing there. Metza had full faith in the demo coming to fruition. And this is something that Endpoint have been talking about recently. They are trying to, you know, play Virtuoso's style. You know, of course, Metza and Relating Wave, they want to let Virtuoso play this way because he feels good doing it. It's obviously very effective. But they're testing the waters with it as well. Maybe initially they thought, okay, this is a bit gimmicky, a bit silly, but it's very like legitimate as a strategy in the current metagame, because you just destroy the rotation of the other team. You blow open a hole in the defense, and that makes it almost impossible for them to defend against. And very unpredictable, very difficult to counter. Relating Wave and Metza getting involved with the bumps as well. Solary are a dangerous team. Anybody who watched the last round will know that. They lost the 3v3 in game 1 against Magnifico, but they still had the confidence in their 3's game to pick it for game 4, and then they won it twice in a row to win the series. Very interesting back and forth there between Solary and Magnifico. Yeah, I think this series is one of the hardest to call because the matchups are all so close on paper, with Endpoint having the edge due to form and definitely due to experience. Nameless and 3 of a Kind just started. Excellent. Good to know. So definitely get your squad streams ready, guys. Get Shogun's stream up on the other monitor. You can keep an eye on both those matches. I'm not going to do that, so you guys have to update me for now. I'll keep you guys updated between the games. You keep me updated now. Exotic. Really nice touch there into the corner. This is the side that was much safer to keep the ball in, so he air rolled around it to keep it there. That's less of an impressive clear. Straight down the middle, but Metza couldn't put the ball into any useful position. End-to-end stuff here with Endpoint looking a bit more threatening, because they are the team who are more willing to use physical play to their advantage. Look at the spread that Solary have in attack. They always have somebody over on that far side trying to sneak into the blind spot of Endpoint. Catch them off guard. Is the squad stream not on? I think it is on. I mean, last time I checked, I was in one with Shogun. Shogun started the squad stream, I believe. It should still be up. So we're entering the last few seconds of the game, and here comes Virtuoso. And you know what that means. Endpoint. Piling on the pressure. It looks like Solary have done well. And in the chaos that ensues, it's Virtuoso getting involved. On the ball for a change. Exotic with a poor clear straight into the ceiling. Carrion helps him out with it. And Exotic followed up with a nice shot. It's saved well by Metza though. Carrion into the middle. Relating Wave intercepts perfectly, and Relating Wave's really becoming well known for intercepting those infield passes. You got to be careful making any play like that when he's there. Metza tested by a high ball. He doesn't get the best contact on it, but it will go down into overtime anyway. Game 1, just as close as anyone who's been following these two teams expected it to be, but Endpoint steal it immediately. And it's all on this assist by Metza Norris. Melashisu tried to bump him. Metza did not care. He just shrugged it off and beat the third man to the ball. And Endpoint have the advantage. That's massive. In a series that could be as close in every single game as this one is, winning the game 1 going to be a massive impact for Endpoint here. Now they only need to win one of the next 2 games to have full control of the series, to know what they are going to get to play in game 5. Really does change the dynamic of a best of 5. Usually you get to game 5, it's all even. Both teams just play one game to see who's the better team on the day, but game 5 in this format, it's all about who won game 3. Who rather was winning 2-1 when you went into game 4. That's the team who are going to have the huge advantage, usually. You know, in this series, it might not be as big of an advantage because these teams are quite close in skill in all 3 matchups. But we'll see if that turns out the way that we expect. Maybe Endpoint can double up here, and if they do, then it's all on Exotic again to save Solary from elimination. Virtuoso and Relating Wave take to the field. Endpoint do have that adaptability for their lineup. They do have flexibility with Metza Norris, Relating Wave, and Virtuoso. Sorry, did I say Relating Wave earlier? It is Metza playing. Relating Wave saved for the 1v1. Melashisu and Exotic have the better of it to start off, and that is a strong shot by Melashisu to punish this risky challenge by Metza. You know, Metza is going to make a play on the ball there. He has to take control. He can't afford a 50-50 that just spills out into the middle of nowhere, because he was very close to Virtuoso in that play. Speaking of teammates getting close to each other, Exotic and Melashisu trip over each other briefly. Exotic still has control though. Now can he slot that in? No, it's too far off the wall. Exotic, as he should, is making sure to keep ball pressure up while he recovers. And now the players switch role. That was a nice transition there by Melashisu and Exotic. More common to see Exotic make a play for the ball there and Melashisu to back off to goal, but they managed to switch places without leaving any opening for Endpoint to exploit. And a back pass infield towards Metza actually causes him a few problems because he's now boost starved, but Exotic's giving him the ball. Metza's giving it right back. They're playing a little ticky-tacky passing between opponents right now. And Virtuoso's just made a dive for the goal line. That was a bump attempt, but one of Virtuoso's careless ones. Because really, what was the upside to this bump? Even if he lands it, I don't know if they're getting a goal. And if he misses, they are just straight up conceding 10 times out of 10. So I don't know about that decision. It's just 2 times this game where Endpoint have conceded because they get really close together as teammates. And one touch goes past both of them. Not sure if Jesse is still watching, but I have to, of course, pronounce both of them like he does. It's a superior method, I would say. Melashisu and Exotic easily having the better of this one. Jesse ended stream. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sure you would have loved the both of them reference. What watch parties do we have going on right now? If any at all. I've not been keeping up. I've had a lot to other things to focus on. Some space for Virtuoso, but Exotic had pressure on him from behind. But oh, Virtuoso's found the opening. And he wants to remind everybody once again that he's not just a demo machine. Look at that first touch. That is gorgeous. Setting up the run up for the open net in the bottom right corner. You know, I call it an open net, but only one part of the net was open. He had to pick exactly that spot, and he did. Metsa just flipped in the way of Virtuoso there. Virtuoso still gets away with the ball, and he wants to bump onto Exotic here. Decides to play for the ball instead. Metsa's got time. He's got the top left corner, and Endpoint are back in the game. And it's just like that. Great pass by Virtuoso. He's had brilliant vision in the last two plays to see these opportunities. And you know that that was called well ahead of time. Metsa knew that was coming. Pinch shot by Exotic. Metsa was back, so he would have had the goal covered either way. And now Virtuoso making a demo play on one. But he didn't go too far this time. He tried, of course, for the demo earlier, and it backfired. This one, he didn't try too much, just on one player. Was that the fabled Virtuoso air dribble bump? I don't know if it was, but he didn't get a chance to follow through with it. Endpoint going to be in such a strong position if they can win this match. Exotic's been playing well in ones today, but Relating Wave is a very, very difficult ones player to beat 2 times, and that might be what they need to do. Well, Melashisu has found a way through. Solary respond. And it looks like Metsa just got on the wrong end of another challenge. That's 2 times this game that Metsa has accidentally centered the ball with his 50-50s. Maybe thinking a bit too much about winning the challenge, not enough about avoiding the loss. And oh, Exotic doesn't want to get demoed, and he scores to make it 4-2. But you know, Metsa had full faith in Virtuoso landing the bump on Exotic there. It didn't happen, and that has allowed the counter-attack to just be walked into the goal. It was very close. Not just a Virtuoso bumping Exotic, but Metsa demoing him as well. Exotic just escaping both players as they attempt to take away his car briefly. Oh, Exotic's fumbled the save here. It looked like he had a decent position to keep this out of the net, but actually Metsa's shot has caught him out of position. You know, he let go of the boost just for a moment there, tried to pop the ball into the crossbar, but he's hit it straight into his own net. And now Endpoint are back within 1. Melashisu out the game for the time being. Stays right there with it though. Metsa and Virtuoso happy to take 50-50s in that position. Goalkeeper usually has the advantage. Virtuoso sees the challenge coming. He's hit the bar with a flick though. And now it's just a minute left for Metsa and Virtuoso. If they're going to come back here, is that crossbar defended? Hardly, but it is defended at the end of the day by Solary. They had such phenomenal backboard defense against Magnifico in their 3v3 rounds to finish off the previous series they played. It would have been surprising to see them concede a double touch there. Melashisu, he's got an open net. He's going to walk it in. Outplays Metsinaris while Virtuoso runs ahead, or outplays Virtuoso, I should say, while Metsinaris runs ahead to look for boost or a demo or something. I'm not sure where Metsa went in that play, but there's going to be an immediate response here. Or is there? That is the worst bounce possible for Endpoint. It looked like it might just roll in. It's hit the post and bounce up, and that is going to be game. Surely Melashisu doesn't even have to score this. Might be smarter not to score. If you just keep that ball in the corner, you're guaranteed the win. You could easily waste 14 seconds there. But, you know, conceding 3 goals in 14 is probably not going to happen as well, so I don't hate this decision to just simply score. And that is going to be it. Solary taking game 2 here. And it is all on the 1v1 to see which team will have control of this series. Great response there by the newly promoted RLCS roster. Exotic and Melashisu had to put in a shift and a half there. But Exotic has more work to do, if I'm not mistaken. Right now they're both staying in the lobby, but I do think Melashisu is going to be dipping out. There he goes. You all know what that means. It is going to be Relating Wave versus Exotic, the 1v1 matchup that we all expected. Well, here it is. Exotic saved Solary in the previous round with a 1-goal win over Emre. Now, he can do more than that here. He can actually take the lead in the series for his team. Relating Wave will try and take at least one game in the 1v1s that we will see here. He couldn't do it in the winners bracket final yesterday against apparently Jack. He lost 2 times, and that is why Endpoint are down here in the lower bracket. But it's a tough one to choose. Oh, that's a great save. How has Relating Wave managed that? The shot by Exotic. It was Exotic. It was a phenomenal finish, but Relating Wave's kept it out of the goal. And he's just another one of these ones players who likes to play defense. We saw that going against Monkey Moon in 2 matches against Joria's earlier. How is it going to work out against Exotic here? Not so good to start off. Relating Wave taking way too long there to bring that one under control. Guys, what's the update on the Tree of a Kind versus Nameless series? Are we at a tie series there? Oh dear, oh dear. Relating Wave. What is that miss? He has completely whiffed this one. And this is easily the worst play I've seen Relating Wave make all day. And it might be Exotic with the advantage here. I mean, it clearly has the advantage in the scoreline, but just the fact that we've already seen a mistake like that from Relating Wave, combined with Exotic's really solid ones performance in the previous round, you have to think that Exotic is going to have the edge, but Relating Wave has got one back. 1-0 Tree of a Kind, OT and 2s. Wow, that's insane. I mean, that series, such a tough one to call. Loving the bounce dribbles by Exotic. He's given himself some great angles to work with. But Relating Wave's shot stopping has been perfect so far. 2 tough saves, and now he reads Exotic's infield dribble and equalizes the game. Now, that's a bit of a risky play by Exotic, because if Relating Wave sees what's coming, you're simply conceding, and if he doesn't, you know, there's still a chance Relating Wave can turn around and make a save on whatever your shot ends up being. You know, what Exotic did have planned, guys, it looked like a bit of a weird play, but he was hoping Relating Wave would anticipate a boost steal and that Relating Wave would go into the corner to secure his own boost. Oh my goodness, Relating Wave's goalkeeping is really doing work here for himself and for Endpoint. He has saved 3 ridiculously difficult shots. And now he's in front by 1. That is a great response to the misplay that put him 2 goals down. Cheeky kickoff by Exotic. And he's up by 1, or he's equalized, sorry. But let's take a look at what he did on this kickoff. Slow approach. Intentionally slow approach. He waited for Relating Wave to make his touch on the ball, and then he came in with his touch afterwards. Now, you're probably familiar with a lot of Rocket League tutorials telling you that you want to get the first touch on the ball in 1v1 to win kickoffs. But if you time a dunk kickoff or a blocking style kickoff like Exotic did there, if you time it to perfection, you can win kickoffs while getting the second touch on the ball. You do need to block your opponent's line perfectly though, and that's what Exotic did. A couple of strong kickoffs, getting back in the driver's seat. Relating Wave. Very weird attack by him, and really ineffective if I'm honest, because the only way he was scoring here is if Exotic double jumped over the ball. There was no way that Exotic was going to concede to that play. Really the problem for Relating Wave has got to go back to the fact that he's just dribbling so straight at his opponent. You know, I've criticized him with this in the past. He's very solid, but he can be predictable at times, and Exotic is starting to run away with this one. Relating Wave struggling to keep up with him. And that's a nice flick again, but the positioning by Relating Wave is certainly questionable. I think the kickoffs of Exotic are starting to tilt Relating Wave a little bit, because Exotic has tried a couple of very cheeky approaches, delaying them, and that is actually open. Can he score this? I think he can. Great control by Exotic. He flicks it in the top corner. And he is starting to run away with this one. That was really nice control though. Three of a kind 2 over Nameless and Ixo in the 1v1. Wow. Again, it's Ixo against Demensa, right? That's insane. You guys wonder what I'm talking about, just check out Shogun's stream as well. He is streaming another qualification match. Exotic keeps Relating Wave at bay for one more attack. Relating Wave fancies his chances, going high, and that doesn't seem to work out too well either. Great boost usage there by Exotic. Fakes an early play on the ball, makes a slower one instead. But this back and forth with no goals being scored is hugely favorable for Exotic. The time that Relating Wave needs to come back as a defensively minded 1v1 player is extremely limited. If he doesn't start scoring goals very soon, this one is going to get away from him. We're not looking at a player who likes to pop off and score goal after goal after goal in quick succession. Obviously he would like to, but that's just not his thing. Relating Wave, more of a grinder type of player. He's going to try and grind out victories by breaking down, by wearing down his opponents. He, doesn't have the best playstyle for coming back in this kind of game. And Exotic is perfectly happy to let the clock do the work for him. He's not taking any risks here. He's not going all in on any of these offensive plays. He's just making a little half-offensive attempt at Relating Wave's goal. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. He's just going to back off and try and defend against what Relating Wave is doing. Because what Relating Wave is doing is not really use the space that's available to him. Okay, that's a free goal. Relating Wave has to score, and he's hit the post. Absolute disaster for Endpoint. Couple of open net misses here. Well, maybe not 2 open net misses, but 1 open net miss there and a complete whiff after a kickoff that Relating Wave won earlier in the game. Those are definitely 2 key moments for him to look back on. But this is very bad news because this matchup has gone poorly enough that I wouldn't be surprised to see Solary picking 1v1 for the ace match if we go that far. They're going to have the game 5 pick here. There's no way that Relating Wave can come back. We've seen 5-goal comebacks in a minute before in once, but those have been from players who are willing to attack from absolutely any position and score insane goals that you're just not going to stop no matter who you are. Now, Relating Wave, like I said, he does have some tricks in his pocket, but I think he's more limited in that regard than other players that we've seen so far. He's back within 4 here, but can he get this any closer? Ixo 6-2 with 2 minutes. Wow. I thought Demensa would be keeping that one closer, but we'll see if it develops any further. That save from Exotic is probably enough to secure this win, and Solary are benefiting from Exotic's 1v1 ability. He's really showing up and performing when it matters most. Just like Scrub did for Singularity earlier on in the day, Exotic is winning 1v1 matches at such key moments. 9-4. That is not a pretty scoreline for Relating Wave, not a pretty scoreline for Endpoint. I'm loving the score updates for the Ixo game in the chat, guys. Thanks for that. Really fantastic stuff. And that is game 3 to Solary. They have actually come back from behind against Endpoint and taken the lead in the most important game in these series. The one to decide who's going to be leading after game 3. But what do Endpoint choose? Surely they pick 3v3 because, they won the 3v3 here. That is the matchup that they're most known for as a team. I think that they do obviously have a chance in the other game modes, but really I don't see any other pick here for Endpoint other than the 3v3, and then they're going to be at the mercy of Solary to just wait and see what they choose. Metsonaurus is joining the lobby. That could be 2s or 3s. Let's see who else is getting in here. So we know that they're not picking 1v1. Exotic not sure what they're choosing either. 3s, says Relating Wave. So no surprise there for Endpoint. That's definitely what we expected in this matchup. But remember, in the previous round, Solary dropped the 3v3 the first game against Magnifico. Then they picked 3v3 for game 4 and they won it. They are perfectly happy bouncing back from a loss in this game mode and giving it another go. Let's see if they can pull it off this time around as well. As Ixo just running away with it. Wow. 3 of a kind gonna qualify. That's insane after the run that they've had today and the roller coaster emotions they must have gone through. But congratulations to them. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'll take a closer look at that series breakdown after we're done here so we can give you guys an update on exactly what happened. But for now, we have more Solary versus Endpoint to cover. This is the chance for Solary to lock in the series win right now. And, you know, Solary taking a game off Endpoint in threes, that would not be hugely surprising. It would definitely be an upset, but this is a matchup that Solary can win right here, right now. And if they don't, they still have the Game 5 pick, so they are in such a strong position now. I wouldn't really hate seeing Solary just go completely all in here, display all-out offense, no holds barred, and see what they can do, because in a back and forth match with Endpoint, you're probably going to run into problems of Virtuoso sneaking in a demo at a key moment and you conceding a goal. Now Virtuoso has to spin demo there as I say his name. But the ability for Endpoint to capitalize on the demo plays at the precise timing that it happens is like no other team in the scene right now. Maybe only G2 in North America are able to play that style as well as Endpoint do. Hit a demo and immediately put a goal in when it happens. Solary have not shown us that, and what they have shown us is a very solid 3v3 foundation. They are based predominantly on team play and mechanical ability positioning, but so are all of the good threes teams recently. Where is the X factor, that unpredictable aspect that Endpoint quite clearly have figured out? I don't know where that's coming for Solary, but they of course do have the ability to win this. If Endpoint choke, then it's going to be an absolute disaster. It's going to be a huge shame to see them go out like that. But you know, this is the game mode that they picked for a reason. They do feel like they've got the advantage in threes. Well, let's see if they can prove that they do. They already did so in game number 1, but Solary take game 2, that would be worth more. You're only as good as your last game. Look at that pass by Exotic. Melashisu smashes it home. And Solary are in a great spot. Exotic faked an earlier play on that ball before shipping it into the middle. That's just a beautifully executed infield. And the shot, like I said, really just had nothing held back of it. He just slammed it. And that is how Solary should be looking to play this game. They just want to play with full confidence because they have that Game 5 pick behind them to back them up. They don't need to be careful here. Endpoint, meanwhile, they have to be so careful. And we saw this again. I'm going to reference G2 because I did see this yesterday from them in the 3v3s that they were winning. They were playing a much more careful and calculated style than we're used to seeing from them. And Endpoint are being forced to do the same because they don't have a game to throw away here. This is a series, and you're in a game 2. Yeah, you can throw away this game. You can, play your usual aggressive style. Maybe you lose a goal here or there. You can fix that later on in the series, but this is it now for Endpoint. They need to win right here, right now, or their tournament is over. And they will be eliminated. 2 losses in a row. Winner final yesterday and then loser final today. And it would be even worse to go out on a matchup of their choice. And that matchup being 3v3. Solary showing us some really great mentality here. That's just in from Relating Wave though. And that was extremely open. Solary getting a bit too excited. Exotic runs off to the mid boost. There's nobody back. Melashisu is making a run up on the left-hand side. And that's one of the oldest mistakes you can make. You got one player making a dribbling play and 2 players trying to give him an option to pass to the right and the left. If he doesn't get a pass off, you have nobody back. But oh, speaking of nobody back, Endpoint have let in an even easier goal. That ball has just bounced into the corner. Virtuoso has missed it. And with 1 minute and 24 left, Endpoint are on their last legs. Shogun, thanks for the raid, my friend. Welcome to all the people who have been following Shogun's coverage in the day. Really appreciate Shogun helping out with the EU qualifier. Hopefully you guys had a great time over there. Solary upsetting Endpoint currently. They are just 1 win away from qualifying to the tournament. And Endpoint picked this 3v3 that they're currently losing. It was a good pick on paper because they did win the 3v3 first time around. The Exotic's 1v1 ability has put Solary firmly in control of this one. And they are just 45 seconds away from qualification. Back pass to Exotic. Relating Wave is in a good position to send it back into the middle. It's almost open. It is now. And Metsanoris equalizes with 40 seconds left. And that's just a great read by Relating Wave. He knew where the clear ball was going, and he was there before anyone else on the pitch. Endpoint, hang on. It's a long road back. It's not going to be easy to win whatever Solary pick in Game 5. I mean, any game mode that Solary choose is going to be a tough game for Endpoint. We've seen that already in this series. What will Solary choose if we get there? I really want to know, but at the same time, I don't want to root for one team, so I want to be impartial here. It's hard not to root for Game 5s in this format. So interesting seeing what game mode teams will pick. Carrion, looking for the bump on Relating Wave. Relating Wave avoids the bump and makes the save. That is huge. He has just saved his team in this tournament. Carrion to Exotic. Denied by Virtuoso this time. Solary are the ones who are coming forward at the end of this one, but now it's Endpoint's turn. Carrion sends it into the ground. It's another overtime. And it's an overtime that Endpoint needs to win to stay alive here. Solary can advance with just one goal. Virtuoso to space. He is shut down though by the Solary defense, but that's a chance now. Virtuoso with a redirect, saved by Melashisu. Denied at the top corner, and that looked like it was going in. It would have been a great goal. It would have been a huge cheer in the Endpoint Discord, I'm sure. But they have to try one more time because now here comes Solary. Virtuoso easily wins the race to the bounce. Relating Wave, tight angle double touch middle. Similar to how they set up their equalizing goal. Mensa tested high, but he will pass for now. Melashisu demos one, bumps another. Exotic's got the third man on lockdown. Mensa first to the loose ball at the edge of the box. It's going to stay in the danger area, but now Relating Wave's a bit too far forward. Endpoint in a bit of pressure here. Mind game by Carrion. He's popped it over one. That is saved by Endpoint. What a tight OT this is. Melashisu left to his own devices, and that's not the best clear by Relating Wave. Carrion unable to put the shot on target, and Metza will dribble it to safety. Both teams are just very much focused on keeping the ball away from danger at the moment, understandably so. It's so hard to put together a passing play under this kind of pressure, especially for Endpoint when they have no more lives to work with. Relating Wave pops it high. They're just trying to win the game with their hard clears alone. Virtuoso has kept Melashisu locked up. Carrion to the rescue, but what a play that would have been by Virtuoso. Just picked up the goalkeeper and forced him out of the play. That would have been the most Virtuoso goal I've ever seen, but it's been saved by Carrion. Relating Wave. Uncontested initially, but now he's denied by Exotic. Metza fires high. They're looking for that high ball option again and again. The Solary are backing off so deep, there's just really no way past them in the air. Backward reads defensively have been on point for both teams. Pressure is mounting. That's a miss by Relating Wave. It's all the way through to Virtuoso, but he's kept it away from the goal. Relating Wave definitely feeling the pressure in this overtime. Having moments where he's making uncharacteristic touches. Carrion. Free shot. Saved to the near post by Metza. What a read to know the shot was going low there. As overtime extends even further. Endpoint are hanging on here. Where is the opening? You've got to wonder when Virtuoso is going to make his move. It's actually Relating Wave with the demo run onto the goal. Everybody trying their hand at Virtuoso's style of play. What a game we're seeing here. Solary, every bit as good as Endpoint in this one. And it's all about the clears. That's all these teams are trying to do at this point. Just get rid of that ball. It's way too close to our goal for our liking. Send it back to the other team. One good passing play would end this. Virtuoso with the reset. He's under one. He's put it off the near post. Relating Wave with the follow. Metza's there, but Melashisu blocks him. And that needed the full team of Solary to prevent Endpoint in that play, who were attacking with everybody. That was an air dribble bump there by Solary. I did say that might be a good play to tilt Endpoint, but at this point you don't care about tilting them, you just want to score that one goal. The time to tilt them is gone. Carrion. It's blocked at the near post, and Metza trying to play it safely down the line. Better 50-50s by Metza than earlier in the series, in the first game we saw. Carrion. Flip reset over one. Metza's going to deny him anything more in that play. Now some space for Metza. Infield and into the goal. Relating Waves slams home. A beautiful pass by Metza. Nobody challenged him. He saw the space. And just like expected, it is a passing play that separates these two teams. In a game of clear ball simulator like this, that's very often the case, but what a play it was. Metza had the vision, he had the composure to take that extra touch on the ball, to wait for that bounce and then hit it infield. He didn't just play it early, he didn't rush, he didn't squander the opportunity, and Relating Wave delivered on that goal. Wow. It is now up to Solary, who I think have just picked 2v2. Relating Wave rounding off a 1,000 point game there. What a perfect number to finish off on. I guess that's why he was waiting. He's like, no, wait, if I get a few more clears and a few more centers, then I can get 1,000 points on my goal. Okay, yeah, pass to me, thank you. Okay, 1,000 points, perfect. Great calculation there. I'm not sure what they've chosen. I don't know if they've actually selected a match yet. It looks like it might be 2v2. And the server's down for maintenance. Oh yeah, I forgot we had that one. I forgot we had that in the script for this one. My bad, guys. You know, I'm thinking, how can we make this even more exciting? How can we make this even more tense? Yeah, we'll get a server that's going to go down for maintenance after game 4. Great idea. But let's get right back into it. I think we're ready to go with this one. This game 5, the last game of the EU qualifier, the last game of this stream that we're going to be doing right now. And it's all down to this. We're not going to see the 1v1. You know what? Exotic looked good in the 1v1, but you have to remember, I know it's a while ago now, but Solary did win the 2v2 quite comfortably. We saw not really double commits by Endpoint, but we did see Endpoint end up in similar positions time and time again, and they were kind of getting in each other's way. But they have made a lineup change for this one. It's not Virtuoso on Metza, now it's Relating Wave on Metza. That's a phenomenal flick by Exotic. Shisu denied by Relating Wave in the follow-up, but no, I can't tell you guys right now exactly how many times these Endpoint boys have played different lineups in the tournament for 2s, but like I said earlier, they do have the flexibility in this game mode. They have 3 players who are willing to step in and play the 2s. This time it's going to be Relating Wave and Metza. You want to try something different. Relating Wave and Metza is a much more defensive, a much more calculated, a much more let's just punish mistakes kind of team than Virtuoso and Metza. They are more aggressive and more forcing mistakes. But in a game 5, where not only your tournament life is on the line, but whether or not you qualify is on the line. This is it. Winner of this 2v2 qualifies to the event. I feel like the solid let's just punish mistakes playstyle is going to benefit a lot more, because you're more likely to have mistakes when the pressure is at an all-time high like this. Now, we haven't seen any huge mistakes, huge blunders by Solary so far, and they're actually the ones who are rattling the bar again and again. Relating Wave and Metza saved by the upright. Metza with a huge block mid-air. It's off the post, it's wide open, but there's no attack by Relating Wave. Now, you can bet Virtuoso would have been there, but that's not a Virtuoso, or that's not a Relating Wave type of play to lunge in really close while your teammates out the game like that. He wants to wait for a safer opportunity. Backflip accidentally by Exotic. He's actually hit the ball on target almost. Now, you've got to think the Relating Wave panicked when he heard Exotic jump here, but Exotic flipped by mistake and he's nearly put it in with his landing. Somehow, it stayed out of the net. But that would have been the most ridiculous goal that I've seen to separate two teams in a tense moment like this. Half the game is gone. We are still scoreless. But Melashisu is going to struggle to catch up with that one. But he does. Melashisu off his own post keeps Solary alive in the game. Both goal lines have just had a heart attack. And Metza is off the post as well. This is all of a sudden the most chaotic 2v2 that we've seen all tournament. Melashisu to the corner, relating wave. Surely he would be the player to stay calm in this kind of game. That is what he's known for. But oh, the exotics beating them both. And he's just too quick to the punch. He intercepts relating wave and puts it past Metza. And there are some unfortunate similarities to that goal and the 2v2 goals that Endpoint have been conceding this series. You know, you look at that and you think, did Metza need to go there? I don't think he did. You know, is there enough of an upside to winning that ball to justify making a risky challenge like that? I don't think there is. But that's where Endpoint have been getting caught out of position when they both commit to the ball, and they've done it again. But I think, okay, for a second I thought Melashisu missed, but he's put it in the bottom corner. And once again, it's a double commit by Endpoint, not on the same ball, but they're both attacking at the same time. They've got no one covering their goal there. And yeah, they want to pressure the ball, but you've got to cover the goal against a team like Solary. Melashisu, the bump onto Metza. Relating Wave's going to walk it into the corner. 90 seconds left. Endpoint in the worst position they've been in all series long. And the 2v2 is looking to be a great pick for Solary for Game 5. This was their choice. Hardly more than a minute left to play. And you know, I said that the more defensive approach of Relating Wave and Metza might favor them in this kind of mistake-fueled game, but Solary have been so solid, almost no mistakes, and they walk in a third goal. Endpoint are helpless as it happens. Once again, Endpoint have one man out of the play, and then another man committing on the play and getting taken out of the game. 1 minute and 6 seconds for Endpoint to work with. That is not the best time frame that they could have in this one. Solary are so sound mechanically. They've played so well in this last game. You have to give them props. You think Endpoint would be the ones who are solid under this kind of pressure and not making mistakes, but Solary are playing flawless right now. And Endpoint, their defense has been suspect. 40 seconds left. Metza into the crossbar. Where's Relating Wave? He's not there again, and you wonder, like, how much boost did he have there? Did he have enough to attack that? Because if he did, you just have to go. There's no other way you're going to win this game than taking chances like that. The time for playing safe is gone. Metza with the bump in the air. It's saved by Melashisu, put off the post by Exotic, and now Relating Wave puts it in. But what chaos in the goal line. Metza Norris goes for the air dribble bump, and he actually bumped Melashisu into the bar, and Melashisu got the save as he fell down. The late game comeback is possible, but it is still so unlikely for Endpoint. They need a huge kickoff here. Are they going to get one? No, Melashisu demos Relating Wave, and they just need to work the clock right now. Solary have got this in the bag. Endpoint have made too many mistakes with their challenges, and they are out of the tournament. Exotic gave Solary the advantage in the 1v1, and Solary clutch it in the 2v2 Game 5. That is the heartbreaker for Endpoint. I know that they were the fan favorites for this one, but you have to congratulate Solary on being the better team in this format. You know, they went 1-1 with Endpoint. They took Endpoint to overtime twice in the 3v3s. Obviously, Endpoint were better in that matchup, but 2s and 1s, Solary they were the better team in those two. And when they are the better team in 2 of the 3 matchups, no surprise that they're able to come out with the series win. Great play by them. Congratulations to Solary on being the last team to come out of the EU qualifier and into the final tournament for Fusion EU.